Alrighty.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Chief Tom Hackney with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. This evening at 5:52 p.m., officers from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office were dispatched to the Emerson Inn Motel on Phillips Highway. The call they were dispatched to was a report of shots being fired, with 2 males involved in a fight and shots being fired during that fight. 4 officers were dispatched. When the officers arrived, they took up tactical positions in the courtyard of the hotel, splitting up so they could cover wherever these suspects were. The witness, one of the witnesses, actually identified the suspect involved with a gun to one of the officers, Officer Matt Edwards, who's a 16-year veteran of the Sheriff's Office. Officer Edwards saw the suspect holding the gun. The suspect was actually on the 2nd floor balcony of the hotel. Officer Edwards gave repeated instructions to the suspect to drop the gun. The suspect refused these repeated instructions to comply. Officer Edwards fired his weapon 5 times at the suspect, hitting him in the arm and the torso. The suspect was transported to Shands Hospital. Is in serious condition, but not life-threatening. Officer Edwards will be placed on administrative leave per our standard protocol.
What was the original gunfight over?
I'm not sure.
How many times was the suspect hit?
The suspect was hit at least twice.
You said that there were 2 people involved in the original fight. What about the second person involved? What can you say about him?
The second party involved in the fight, to our knowledge, fled on foot from the scene. One of the parties obviously involved was on the balcony and shot.
So he's gone. You don't have him.
He's not in custody.
Has he been identified?
No, he has not yet.
Are you looking for him?
Absolutely.
You know who he is?
We do not know as of yet his name. We believe it may be the brother of the person who was shot, but investigation still is ongoing to determine if that is indeed the case.
What's the name of the person who was shot?
Don't know. Haven't identified him as of yet.
So you don't know if he was staying here or what they're
No, we do not know what he was doing here. Talking to some of the witnesses around, said they've seen him here, but not sure if he was actually a resident here or just a visitor.
They may have seen him in the area in the past.
Yes,
then.
correct.
Any other questions?
Sorry, the suspect was somebody who was seen around.
The suspect who was shot had been seen by some of the witnesses around the motel for the past few days, but not sure whether he was actually a resident here at the hotel or just visiting.
And the other person, were they a resident here? The one that
They're not sure.
They're not sure. Did
Not
there
sure.
was a vehicle with them? Did they take off in a car?
There was a vehicle involved in the original call. We're not sure as if that was the vehicle that the other party involved with the shooting fled in, or if that was just another vehicle that was here at the time of the shooting and fled when they heard the shots.
So there's an armed gunman on the loose. What do people in the area need to know to stay safe?
Need to be aware of the fact that there is an outstanding suspect. As soon as we're able to identify him and put any information out as to his identity, we'll do that so they can be aware of what's going on.
Can you elaborate at all on their argument, like what they were arguing about, and were any gunshots fired before the police arrived?
There was reports of at least 1 shot being fired before the police arrived. I'm not sure what the argument was about.
Okay.
Officer Matt Edwards.
M-A-T-T?
M-A-T-T-E-W-A-R-D-S. 16-year veteran.
And how old is he?
Officer Edwards was born in 1970.
And anything else about the suspect that you can tell?
At this point,
His age,
that's all we
his
got.
name?
Where do you guys go from here? Talking to witnesses, trying to figure out what happened?
Standard investigative protocol, talk to the witnesses, try to identify who the suspect is, move on from there.
And the last question for me, anyways, what are you guys doing in the neighborhood to make sure you find this armed gunman?
There'll be an increased presence from the patrol division in this area. As information is gained on the identity of that suspect, we'll get that out to not only the public, but also the officers in the area so they can work to identify him. Also, I'll follow up tomorrow with an identity of the person who was shot, as well as some photographs of his gun.
You believe that other man is armed, though?
I'm not sure.
How'd you find the gun? He left the gun, he dropped it?
Dropped the gun.
All
The
right.
officers involved are not on administrative leave.
No, just the officers involved in the shooting.
One and then there were 3 others.
3 others, yes.
Two.
Yes.
Thanks.